जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
जय कुंज बिहारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
जय गोपी जन
यशोदानन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जन।
यशोदनन्दन व्रज
यमुनतीरावनचारि। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 जय प्रभु एवं विष्णुपाद ब्रह्म परिविराज का आचार्य सरस्वती श्रीमद अद्वैतानंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की समस्त गौरव भक्तवृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंद। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहकान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त नमोऽस्तुते सप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद यद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you for today's session. So I'm very happy to visit again. So maybe I don't think so. I was the supposed to this period actually. Maybe some other reasons I was sent. I don't know. You also don't know who was scheduled before. Maybe some health problems. Anyway, so it's my fortune to come again and sit with all of you. Today we are going to discuss the next chapters because we are continuing our discussion. 21st chapter onwards we'll study. So we have 5 days, 16 to 20 total, and 4 chapters. And 2.5 hours per day. That's not. And even if you extend maximum, maybe 10-15 minutes, not more than. So 2.5 hours, totally 12.5 hours, and 4 chapters. Number of slokas are more actually. If you see in these chapters, 4 chapters, it's like 50. They have 50 chapters on average. 50 slokas are there average. So we'll maintain. We'll try to finish this. I'm returning on 20th itself. That means 20th, some 11 o'clock I will leave. So that means I should finish on this 5 days. So 21st chapter is a little bit commentary is there and also we can discuss. 22nd onwards is quite can go quickly. So we'll start. Before anyway, you all remember it. So we discussed Brahmaji's creation. Yes, Brahmaji was doing the secondary creation. So what he was creating initially, first, you remember? Huh? Rakshasas, yeah. Before that, so he creates 5 types of ignorances. Yeah. Panchaparva, Avidya, Sarga. So Avidya, Smita, Raga, Dvesh, Abhinvesh. These 5 items he creates. Because these are all needed actually, so that Jivatma, so according to his karma, he will be feeling the attachment. So with the material objects. So that's why these has to be created. So then after that he creates the vanaspatis, trees. different kinds of the trees he creates, and also creepers and so on. So in the next creation, he creates snakes, reptiles, and so also. And in the third creation, he does animals. He creates like four-legged animals. So cows, buffaloes, donkeys, pigs. This creation he does. Then after that, yakshas, rakshasas, asuras, kinneras, and kimpurshas. All he creates. This is a sequence actually. And also after that, he creates Sanakadi rishis, Sanaka for Kumaras. Then after that, he creates Marichi, as Prajapatis he creates. Then after that, he creates the humans, male and female prototypes. Then finally, he creates Manu, Manu creation. So we have seen actually Brahmaji's creation in 10th chapter also. Also, we have seen in 12th chapter, 13th chapter, and also 20th chapter. So Visarga, creation of the Brahmaji, the secondary creation. But we have seen those are all randomly explained actually. Those are all not in a sequentially explained the way Brahmaji creates. But we have studied in the 20th chapter ending. So Vishwanath Chakravarti finally giving a reconciliation. So what is the sequence of the creation done by Brahmaji? So that is the sequence just now I mentioned to all of you. So finally Manu. So they are created by. So these are the things we discussed in 20th chapter how the various Rakshasas creation and they are man-eaters, Rakshasas. And also we have seen the creation of the Devatas. Devatas are compared with what? Others. When Lord Brahma is feeling the knowledge, so mode of goodness is feeling. It's compared with the day. And then Devatas are created. So and also next Asuras. Asuras are created. So when he is feeling passion, he's feeling passion, Asuras are created and they were given with the Sandhya actually. They were having so much lust and they started running behind Brahmaji to gratify their lust. So then they were given with the Sandhya because that passion became Sandhya. So that means various feelings Brahmaji was getting, and based upon that, so prototypes of these different species are created, and then he is leaving that, and that is becoming. So in the case of the Rakshasas, that became night. In the case of Devatas, it became day, and in the case of Asuras, it became twilight. Like this, we have seen. So various feelings Brahmaji was getting, and based upon that, mental state of the Brahmaji, so different species are created. So after hearing all these things, Vidura was started asking actually further. So that is this 21st chapter. What he was asking, so we'll see now. So today discussion from 21st chapter. Vidura vacha swayam bhuvasya cha mano Vamsha Paramasammataha Katyatam Bhagavan Yatra Maitune Naidire Prajaha. Translation. Vidura said, the line of Swayambhu Manu was most esteemed. O worshipful sage, I beg you, give me an account of this race whose progeny multiplied through sexual intercourse. So after creating the human beings and Manu, so we are seeing the further creation because of sexual intercourse, Maithuna. So how that creation took place, further he is asking. Creation of the trees, plants, so then after the reptiles, so animals, so all the prototypes we have seen. And further, that means how these humans are being continued to expand and who came. So because Srimad Bhagavatam is Mahapurana and it is having the 10 characteristics. So what are the different topics are discussed in this Srimad Bhagavatam? Atra Sargo Visarga Sthanam Poshanam Utayaha Manvantar Ishanu Kathaha Nirodha Muktir Ashraya. So now this Bhagavatam is also describing about the Manu and Manu's Vamshaha, that means the dynasty of the Manu is also being explained. So that's why now we can see Swayambhu Manu's dynasty explanation we are started seeing from here. It will go on several cantos. This third canto from here it begins, and it is also continually discussed about this Manu's dynasty in fourth canto also. Fourth canto, particularly Manu's all remaining two first Manu's first daughter. Among the three daughters, Akuti, Prasuti, and Devhuti. Among three daughters, one daughter Devhuti, and Devhuti's sons and daughters so are being explained here in this third canto till 33rd chapter. Then after that, we are going to continue this. Vidura starts asking about further siblings of the Devhuti, how they ruled and what happened to them. So that's why fourth canto begins there actually. Fourth canto, he started explaining about the Akuti and Prasuti's descendants. Akuti married with the Ruchi, and also Prasuti married Daksha. And they further explanation, that means further who appeared in their dynasty that we are going to see in their family. So then after that, Vidura will ask about remaining, that means the two sons. He has Uttanapada and Privrata. And he will ask about the Uttanapads, so dynasty. Then fourth canto completely about the Uttanapadas, so descendants. Then after that, fifth canto will go on about Privratas, so dynasty we are going to see. So like that, sixth also is further continued, and seventh canto, sixth and seventh canto in between. So we are going to see Hiranyakashipu's story also there in the seventh canto. So then once again, eighth canto, he will ask about the remaining Manus. Swayambhu Manu till one Swayambhu Manu story extended till seventh canto almost. Then after that, in eighth canto, he asked about remaining Manus and remaining total 13. Till now, we have seventh Manvantara is going. That means the six Manus we discuss in the eighth canto elaborately actually. Especially sixth Manvantaras, Chaksha Manvantara story. That's a Bali Maharaj. So story we have seen, and also different other Manvantara stories also, Gajendra Moksha. This also belongs to the fourth Manvantara, I think. So like this, so further Manu's stories he will ask. That will be going on. Then after that, in the ninth canto, completely will be discussing about seventh Manvantara story. And in the 10th canto, in the 7th Manvantara story, while he was explaining, he explained about Surya Vamsha and Chandra Vamsha. So there, Surya Vamsha, Chandra Vamsha very briefly was mentioned in the 9th canto ending. So that's why Chandra Vamsha story he wants to know more. So then Parikshit will ask about the more and more about this uh, Chandravamsha story. So that's a Krishna story. That is the 10th canto and 11th canto. Then story ends by the 12th canto. 12th canto is not having much. The past tense, that means the disappearance of the Parikshit we can see. Then conclusion will be there. So the Goswami concludes. Like that Bhagavatam. This Manvantara stories will be seen. All the Manvantara stories are covered in the various cantos. So now that's why Vidura is beginning with Mother Devahuti. The line of Swayambhu Manu was most esteemed. O worshipful sage, I beg you, give me an account of this race whose progeny multiplied through sexual intercourse. So, purport, a regulated sex life to generate good population is worth accepting. Actually, Vidura was not interested in hearing the history of persons who merely engage in sex life, but he was interested in the progeny of Swayambhu Manu, because in the dynasty, good devotee kings appeared who protected their subjects very carefully with spiritual knowledge. Because all the Manus, they are all very great devotees. And also they did their descendants, Manus, so sons, there also you can see many, many devotees. And this whole Maha Bhagavatam is composed of the past tense of these great devotees. So devotees likes to hear about the devotees. By hearing the history of their activities, therefore one becomes more enlightened. So as much as we hear about the consciousness of the devotees, so then we can understand how to become pure devotee. Because by hearing the pure devotees' behavior in the various situations, that will help us to how to react and how to mold our life also. So that's why it is very important to know about these devotees. An important word used in this connection is Paramasammataha, which indicates that the progeny created by Swayambhu Manu and his sons was approved of by great authorities. They are all very great devotees. We can see in the case of Mother Devahuti, she gave birth to Lord Kapila. And Akuti and Ruchi, they gave birth to Yajna. He is also the Lord's incarnation. And you can see in the Prasuti and Daksha. So they gave 64 girls actually, and they were given with the many, and you can see the expansion of the how the progeny is expanded, and so many great sages appeared as their descendants. And then Uttanapada and Privrata, they are also great devotees. We can see so how the devotees appearing in their dynasties, and so that's why the descendants of Swayambhu Manu, the sons and daughters, was approved by great authorities. They are all great devotees. That's why Vidura is asking about them. In other words, sex life for creating exemplary population is acceptable to all sages and authorities of Vedic scriptures. So, sex life for creating exemplary population. Swayambhu Manu created such a population actually. They are all very exemplary to the whole world. So that's why we are studying about them and learning from their life. And they are all approved by all the other sages also. प्रियव्रतोत्तानपादौ सुतौ स्वायम्भुवस्य वै यथा धर्मं जुगुपतुः सप्तदीपवती महीम्. The two great sons of Swayambhu Manu, Priyavrata and Uttanapada, ruled the world, consisting of 7 islands just according to religious principles. We will be seeing actually in the 5th canto how Priyavrata is making this earth into the 7 islands and also 7 oceans because of his chariot, there will be 7 islands and 7 dvipas are 7 rivers are created, oceans. So Sapta Samudras, 7 oceans are created. That we are going to discuss in fifth canto. So purport is Srimad Bhagavatam is also a history of the great rulers of different parts of the universe. Purana and Itihasa is exactly was one family's history we can see. But in Purana, not like that actually. Purana is different. Purana is covering the aspects of Sarga, Visarga, Sthanam, Poshanam, Utaya, all these things. But in the history also part of Purana. But itihasas are simply histories only. Like only one dynasty and one person or one family. So about that we see. So that's why we don't see the mix of so many things. Majorly that is the main topic. And in between anyway, so many things will be covered in that also. But the main is centered around the one family actually, or one person. So, but Puranas are not like that. It is covering the several topics. In this verse, the names of Privrata and Uttanapada, sons of Swayambhuva, are mentioned. They ruled this earth, which is divided into 7 islands. These 7 islands are still current as Asia, Europe, America, Africa, America, Australia, and North and South Poles. This is only Bharatakanda, actually, I don't know. So, actually, there are, for simple understanding, Prabhupada wrote, and also we have other islands which we cannot reach at all, and other continents. These are all continents, and islands which Sumeru will be the center, then Jambu Dvipa and other Ila Dvipa, like that. Many Dvipas are there. Those Dvipas, those islands, we cannot reach at all, actually. So, Prabhupada, for the general understanding, he wrote like this. But beyond this, actually, islands means so beyond these 7. There is no chronological history of all the Indian kings in Srimad Bhagavatam. But the deeds of the most important kings, such as Privrata and Uttanapada, and many others, like Lord Ramachandra and Maharaj Yudhishthira, are recorded because the activities of such pious kings are worth hearing. People may benefit by studying their histories. So we'll be seeing all these kings' histories. तस्य वै दुहिता ब्रह्मन् देवहूतीति विश्रुता पत्नी प्रजापतेरुक्ता कर्दमस्य त्वया नघ. O holy Brahmana, O sinless one, you have spoken of his daughter, known by the name Devahuti, as the wife of the sage Kardama, the lord of creating beings. So now Vidra started asking among the 5. So Swayambhu Manu gave birth to 5 children: Akuti, Prasuti, Devahuti, Uttanapada, and Privrata. So among that 5, he started asking about first Devahuti. So the wife of Kardama. Here we are speaking of Swayambhu Manu, but in Bhagavad Gita we hear about Vaivashta Manu. The present age belongs to the Vaivastha Manu. Swayambhu Manu is the beginning. In Brahmaji's day, there are total 14 Manus, they come. First is Swayambhu Manu. And that Swayambhu Manu's story, so he is explaining now. And also, here in Bhagavad Gita, we see Bhagavad Gita is being explained by Lord to Suryadev, and Suryadev explained to Vaivasthamanu to that Ikshvaku, and further we can see that story is about the 7th Manu, that's the Vaivasthamanu, which is current Manu actually. But there is a difference is there. But Udara is asking about the first Manu, Swayambhu. Swayambhu Manu was previously ruling, And his history begins from the Varaha age, or the millennium when the Lord appears as the bow. That the in the first first Manvantara, Swayambhu Manvantara is a Swayambhu Manu. And like this, we have seen 30 days are there in Brahmaji's 1 month. In each day there are 14 Manus. And first day is the Varaha Kalpa. You remember maybe. So first day is Varaha Kalpa. And like this, we have so beginning day is also Sweta Varaha Kalpa. Of the Brahmaji's whole life, the beginning day is a Sweta Varaha Kalpa. And after that, we are also seeing every day there is 14 Manus. And every month, the first day is also known as Varaha Kalpa. The first day of the Brahmaji is Sweta Kalpa, Sweta Varaha Kalpa, this Varaha Kalpa, like that we say. And every first day, we can see every month, first day is Varaha Kalpa. And in that Varaha Kalpa, the first Manvantara is the Manu. At that time, the first Manvantara, we can see the appearance of Varaha Dev. That means every 30 days, there is a Varaha. The need of the appearance of Varaha is there. That means Earth is sinking actually. So that we can assume actually based upon this. And also we have seen every 14 Manvantaras in Chakshasa Manvantara, appearance of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha will be there. There, Hiranyaksha is also taking and hiding this earth in the water. So at that time also Lord appears and kills the Hiranyaksha. So that also we see. In every day in the Manvantara, which Manvantara? Sixth Manvantara, we are seeing this. So like this we should understand actually. And so now Swayambhu Manu, these titles, these are all the Manvantaras are given. So person may change. That name will be same. Like Indra. Indra every time he will change. In every Manvantara, Indra will change. It's not that the Indra is only one Indra is there. That's a post actually, Indra post. And every Manvantara, that means in one day, 14 times Indra will change. And also Manu will change. Manu's descendants will change. Saptarshis will change. And Lord's incarnation will change. So like that we have to take. So Swayambhu Manu was previously ruling, and his history begins from the Varaha age or the millennium when the Lord appeared as the bow. There are 14 Manus in one day of the life of Brahma. And in the life of each Manu, there are particular incidents. Vaivasata Manu of the Bhagavad Gita is different from Swayambhu Manu. तस्यां स वै महायोगी युक्तायां योगलक्षणैः ससज्जा कतिदा वीर्यं तन्मे शुश्रूषवे वद. How many offspring did that great yogi beget through the princess, who was endowed with eightfold perfection in the yoga principles? Oh, pray, tell me this, for I am eager to hear it. Tasyam savai mahayogi yuktayam yoga lakshanaihi. So Kardama is not an ordinary person. He is a great personality. He is a yogi, mahayogi. And how many offsprings he created in the womb of Mother Devati? Katida viryam tanme susrushave vada. Vidura is asking, this great Kardama, how many offsprings he created by using his virya actually? How many? 9 girls and 1 boy. And these 9 girls are given to the different sages. And once again, there is expansion. So we are going to see those. So those things Vidura is asking. And Kapila is the Lord's incarnation. And he is going to give the teachings, 25th chapter onwards, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29. And 30 and 31 also we see how Kapila is leaving his mother. Finally, 33rd chapter, mother will be praying, giving the prayers to the Lord. Then like that, third canto ends. So Lord Kapila's teachings are very important. We hear from 25th chapter onwards. So here purport, here Vidura inquired about Kardamuni and his wife Devhuti and about their children. It is described here that Devhuti was very much advanced in the performance of eightfold yoga. The 8 divisions of yoga performance are the 8 divisions of yoga performance are described as Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So these are the 8 things. Controlling of the senses, strict following of rules and regulations, practice of different sitting postures, control of the breath, withdrawing the senses from sense objects, concentration of the mind, meditation, self-realization. These things we also discussed in Bhagavad Gita. These things also we discussed in the second canto, first chapter. If you remember, there also we discussed these. After self-realization, there are 8 further perfectional stages which are called Yoga Siddhis. The husband and wife, Kardama and Devhuti, were advanced in yoga practice. The husband was a Mahayogi, great mystic, and the wife was a Yoga Lakshana, or one advanced in yoga. They united and produced children. Formerly, after making their lives perfect, great sages and saintly persons used to beget children. Otherwise, they strictly observed the rules and regulations of celibacy. Brahmacharya. Following the rules and regulations of celibacy is required for perfection of self-realization and mystic power. So here Prabhupada is saying, so we are also seeing that those who follow perfectly brahmachari life, they make perfect of their life and then they go enter into the grihastha life. Grihastha life is not for the just sense gratification. It's not a Prabhupada says it's not a license for sense gratification. No. So grihastha life is followed by those people who strictly followed their celibate life. And why they go for the grihastha life? To give birth to a children who can. So further that means make this society advanced. So to give birth to such a children, they go for marriage. Here Kardamuni and Devhuti, they are perfected their life by following the yoga. And then after that, they gave birth to a children. They are all very good children actually. That's why brahmacharya is required for perfection of self-realization and mystic power. Even brahmacharya is common to any spiritual life. Even if you want to become yogi or the bhakta or otherwise anything, Ashtanga yogi or the gnani, anything if you want to become, brahmacharya life is very much needed. There is no recommendation in the Vedic scriptures that one can go on enjoying material sense gratification at one's whims as one likes, and at the same time become a great meditator by practicing by paying a rascal some money. And at the same time become a great meditator by paying a rascal some money. Actually, nowadays, actually, they make it's like just a business. Just to you pamper me and I'll pamper you. So that spiritual master also pampers children, disciples, and disciples also pamper spiritual master. And everyone think that we are all great sadhakas. Finally, where they will go? just, uh, just by mutual agreement, we cannot allow. That means we will not be allowed to go to the spiritual realm. It's not possible. Just Nowadays it's happening actually. For the passion also, just for show off also, they will be having so spiritual masters. Everything became very artificial. In the Kali Yuga, the intensity of the quality of everything will become very degraded. Spiritual life quality is also very much degraded. Most of the spiritual organization just to show off. Slowly, influence is coming in on our society also. It's becoming very artificial. Actually, sincerity is not there. Sincerity is not there, and values so which are recommended for the spiritual practice are forgotten, and externally only the superficially following the things are happening. So because that's a dambikam. Dambikam means show off. Show off is the major principle of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga people are very much show off people actually. Most of the time they show off, but internally अंदर से खोखला और बाहर से बहुत दिखावा करते हैं. Because we are not out from the Kali Yuga, so that's why that's everywhere always pervasive, all pervasive. But anyways, that mission has to be keep on continued, and fortunate souls will be definitely get benefited. But we cannot. We do endeavor to stop those things, but it's not possible actually. Many times, many acharyas comes and after that standards goes down actually, and so much adulteration will be there in the process, and then gradually once again it will be completely diluted, and once again one acharya will come and keep on continuing. This will happen. So that's why a serious sadhaka don't worry about those things. So keep on continue your. That means one should be serious by his own example and then carry forward further. So because even if you see the great acharyas when they came, it's not that whole thing is changed. Sometimes people will get disturbed by seeing the surroundings. Oh, this is happening, that is happening, and they also get influenced by that, and they think that oh, there is no good place, and started condemning everything. No, actually, that's not necessary. That is not the right way. Actually, one should be sincere and serious, and he has to follow seriously. So because it's not possible to clear everything, it's not easy thing. Even if you put so many rules and regulations, but we do endeavor, but that should not affect us. That should not affect us actually. We should not get bewildered by that. Oh, it's not possible at all, impossible. Oh, this is happening at this big person, big devotee. Oh, in this case also this happened. What is this? So, and that's common actually. Something didn't happen, and that is really you should notice that actually. Out of 199 can be like that one. Show offs only one will be the good thing. So you should be surprised for the good thing, and don't get surprised for the show offs. It will happen. Manushanam sahasreshu kaschid yaddi siddhanam kastin mam veti tatvara. Yattanam siddhanam kastin mam veti tatvara. So very difficult. Only few can know. Nice bro. Yes. Samadhi. Yeah. Yeah. Self-realization means realizing here not only self-realization will happen even at the Nishkama Karma Yoga stage only. So further, one will be realizing in the Samadhi, Brahman, or otherwise Paramatma. Based upon the target, he will realize. That's understandable actually. रुचिर्यो भगवान् ब्रह्मन् दक्षो वा ब्रह्मणः सुतः यथा ससर्ज भूतानि लब्ध्वा भार्यां च मानवीम्. O holy sage, tell me how the worshipful Ruchi and Daksha, the son of Brahma, generated children after securing as their wives the other two daughters of Swayambhu Manu. Manavi means Manu's daughter is known as Manavi. Two Manavi. So who are the Akuti and Prasuti? And they were married with Ruchi. Akuti got married with Ruchi and Prasuti got married with Daksha. These, of course, Vidura asked this question. Maitreya is not going to answer in this canto. This he will answer in fourth canto, first chapter. And first chapter, Daksha and Prasuti, they got married and they gave birth to the 64 daughters, and their one daughter Sati, before giving birth, she married with the Lord Shiva, and before giving a birth to a baby, she left her body. Like that, he says in the fourth canto ending. Then from there, why she left her body like that? Once again, Vidura asks. The story begins with Daksha, Dakshopakhyan, from the fourth canto, second chapter. We'll be seeing that. So, purport, all great personalities who increase the population in the beginning of the creation are called Prajapatis. Brahma is also known as Prajapati, as were some of his later sons. Swayambhuman is also known as Prajapati, as is Daksha, another son of Brahma. Swayambhuva had two daughters, Akuti, had two more daughters, Akuti and Prasuti. Prajapati Ruchi married Akuti and Daksha married Prasuti. These couples and their children produced immense number of children to populate the entire universe. Vidura's inquiry was how did they beget the population in the beginning? So, next verse. Maitreya uvacha prajasrujeti bhagavan kardamo brahmanoditaha saraswatyam tapastepe sahasranam samadasha. Now Maitreya started answering the questions. What is the main question? So Kardama, how he got the children in Mother Devhuti. So that was the question. So to answer this question, so now further here onwards, Maitreya started replying. The great sage Maitreya replied, commanded by Lord Brahma to beget children in the worlds, the worshipful Kardama Muni practiced penance on the bank of river Saraswati for a period of 10,000 years. So now story is beginning. Question is what? How Kardama got the children in Mother Devhuti. Before getting children, he needs wife. तो वाइफ तो पहले मिलना चाहिए. तो वाइफ मिलेगा कैसा? तो इसीलिए वाइफ के लिए तो उन्होंने तपस्या कर रहे हैं. He is going to do tapasya to get a wife. So Kardama is doing because his father ordered. Why he is getting wife? Because his father ordered him. What? Prajaha sruja. Prajaha sruja iti bhagavan Kardamah brahmana uditaha. Kardam Muni was instructed by his father Brahmaji. What is the instruction? Create this population. Prajaha sruja. So that was the children. Get the children. So this was order given by his father. He's a very loyal son. He is also a very good son. So that's why he is to get children. Then he needs wife. So for that woman, that means he need a wife. So for that he is going to do tapasya. Where he is doing tapasya? On the bank of river Saraswati. How many years he did? Sama dasha. Dasha sahasranam sama. Sama means what is the meaning of sama here? Year. 1 year is known as sama. How many years? Dasha sahasra means 10,000 years. 10,000 years he did the tapasya.
This is happening.
Satyuga.
Satyuga in this.
Yes, Andipuli. It is understood herein that Kardama Muni meditated in yoga for 10,000 years before attaining perfection. Similarly, we have information that Valmiki Muni also practiced yoga meditation for 60,000 years before attaining perfection. Therefore, yoga practice can be successfully performed by persons who have a very long duration of life. such as 100,000 years. In that way, it is possible to have perfection in yoga. Otherwise, there is no. Prabhupada is now onwards, he will blast in the many, many purpose about this so-called Ashtanga Yoga. Otherwise, there is no possibility of attaining the real perfection. Prabhupada's logic is, so to become perfect in Ashtanga Yoga, you need several thousands of years. So those are not possible in the Kali Yuga. So that's why Ashtanga Yoga one should not practice. This is a logic one. And after that, he gives so many logics. We don't know how people can be captivated by the bogus yoga systems in which it is stated that simply by meditating 15 minutes daily, one can attain perfection of becoming one with God. How it is possible? Which requires at least several thousands of years, then how it is possible just by 15 minutes, one can daily 15 minutes and they can go and merge into the God. This age, Kali Yuga, is the age of bluffing and quarrel. Actually, there is no possibility of attaining yoga perfection by such a paltry proposals. The Vedic literature, for emphasis, clearly states 3 times that in this age of Kalau, in the age of Kali, Kalau nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva. There is no other alternative, no other alternative, no other alternative than Hare Nama. So Harinama, chanting the holy names of the Lord. So Prabhupada is saying, so that's why people are nowadays very much interested in the yoga systems and they are attracted to the yoga techniques and not understanding the pure devotional service, chanting the holy names. So Prabhupada in this purport is mentioning that yoga system needs thousands of years of meditation to get perfection. So that is not possible. Kali Yuga, we hardly live 80 years, 70 years. So what kind of perfection we can get through the yoga system? It's not possible. ततः समाधियुक्तेन क्रिया योगेन कर्दमः संप्रेदे हरिं भक्त्या प्रपन्ना वरदासुषम्. During that period of penance, the sage Kardama, by worshipping through devotional service in trance, propitiated the personality of Godhead, who is the quick bestower of all blessings upon those who flee to him for protection. Samadhiyuktena kriya yogena kartamah samprede harim bhaktya. Here, now, slowly, now we'll also start discussing about commentary actually. See, from sloka number 12 onwards, 12 to 20. This is the major chapter, major portion. From sloka number 12 to 20, we are going to give the more attention through commentary because there a lot of things are there to discuss. At least the consciousness of Kardam Muni we can understand. And before that, so just a background, making the background. So Kardam Muni, first 10,000 years he did the yoga system. He followed. So that means tapasya. Here it is mentioned as tapasya, but Prabhupada is translating tapasya as yoga. Okay? Kardam Muni, what he did for 10,000 years? What he did? Tapah tepe. What is said here? Tapah tepe. Means he did the tapasya, penance. So Prabhupada is saying it is as he did the penance, that means yoga. Then after that, what? By the 10,000 years of the tapasya, तावतीति यावत् संप्रेदे इति पूजायां सत्यां तत्प्रसादे विलंब अभावः सूचितः. So by doing this tapasya is not sufficient to please the Lord, So further he did what? He also did puja. He did the worship. He did the worship. Then after that, samadhi yuktina kriya yogena kartamaha. Kriya yogena. Kriya yogena means what? What is the meaning? Puja prakarena. You are understanding what is happening here. 10,000 years he did the tapasya. And only he did tapasya? No, also he did kriya yoga. Kriya yoga means puja. Worship also he did. So that is the thing we should understand. He didn't do the simply, he is not a simply bare, so like a yogi, no. He is a worshipper of the Lord also. Kardam Muni. Tata samadhi yuktena kriya yogena kardamah samprede harim bhaktya. Prapanna varadasusham. That means with the bhakti, that means with the worship, he pleased the Hari with his devotion. So Kardama is not just a dry Ashtanga yogi, no. He is a worshipper of the Lord. So that is our point we can see in the 7th sloka, this sloka. Yes. Puja. Puja. Deity worship. Yes.
Normally, when people say here, puja, normally they will just say,
Kriya Yoga Puja. Puja we do for the Lord also. Yeah. It's not for only demigods. Huh? But he's not, that's a major thing. That's why he did the Ashtanga Yoga also. It doesn't mean that in the Krita Yoga there is no Harinam and there is no Puja. No. Other yoga processes also are existing. But what is prominent? That's the Ashtanga Yoga is the prominent actually. Dhyana. Through the yoga system, Dhyana is also there. Dhyana, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Dhyana will be there. So but that is a prominent. So like you can see in the case of Dhruva Maharaj also, he is also devotee, but that's the obvious process is so dhyana process will be there. Dhyana is because they are very powerful people. They are not just chanting holy names. They are also doing this strong process that's common, very commonly. You can see in the case of Kardamuni also. He is doing the dhyana, the tapasya, yoga. Tapasya means here, tapa means yoga. So there we are also hearing. So doing the dhyana is also part of that. And along with that, he is doing the puja also. But you can see in the case of Prahlad Maharaj, he is also chanting holy names. And you can see Ambarish Maharaj is also chanting the holy names. Who are belongs to the previous ages, so they are also doing the chanting holy names. But in the Kali Yuga, the prominent process is chanting holy names. Other processes are impossible for the Kali Yuga inhabitants. They cannot do that actually. Because they cannot get sufficient paraphernalia to worship. As in due course of time, the pure paraphernalia, getting that is also very difficult. Nowadays also it is very difficult. You cannot get pure ghee also to offer a lamp. We don't know what kind of ghee it is, what is mixed in that. So when there is a dravya dosha is there, then there is a dosha is there in the process also. So that's why, of course, we do that. So, but prominently one should follow simple process, just vibrating the tongue. It's very easy. So chanting holy names is quite easy for the Kali Yuga people, and that is only the recommended thing, and that is also very easy, but that also they cannot do. Mandaha sumanda matayo, manda bhagya yupadrita. They are always disturbed because of so many problems, health problems, family problems, economic problems. Before that, they are also very lazy, manda, sumanda matayu, and also they are dull-headed. Mandabhagya, unfortunate. On top of this, they are also having problems with health and also economic problems, financial problems, so many other problems, crisis, so many crises. So for them, easy process is Harinam. But Harinam is all pervasive, evergreen. Shravanam Kirtanam, this Navadha Bhakti is there in all the yugas. And it's evergreen process, chanting and hearing. That should be done. That was done by the devotees in other ages also. Therefore, whether one practice yoga or they speculate and does research to find God, one's efforts must be mixed with the process of devotion. Prabhupada is saying. Therefore, whether one practice yoga or scriptures or speculates and does research to find God, one's efforts must be mixed with process of devotion. So here Kardam Muni, what is the process? He's doing the worship. Devotion also is there. Without devotion, nothing can be perfect. No process, even in the Ashtanga Yoga process also, there is so process of bhakti, like meditating on the Lord. He should not meditate on some so-called object. Yogis, they should meditate on the Lord only. Because of that, they can get the result of the yoga system. That's self-realization, or otherwise the Brahman realization or the Paramatma realization. In the case of the Gnana also, along with the practicing of the Amanitvam, Madambitvam, Kshantirarja, like the Gnana Angas are there, 20 Angas. In that, the 16th Anga, what is that? 16th one? Maicha Ananya Yogena, Bhakti Yogena. Maicha Ananya Bhakti Yogena. So there, Bhakti is also one of the Anga should be followed by Jnanis. Jnanis, they should do Bhakti. Otherwise, no process can give the result. That's what Prabhupada is writing here. So without mixing with the Bhakti, no sadhana can give its result. Without devotion, nothing can be perfect. The target of perfection realization is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly said that one who constantly engages in Krishna consciousness is the topmost yogi. The personality of Godhead Hari also fulfills the desires of his surrendered devotees. So we have seen that means in the ending of this. So among the karmis, among the dhyana yogis and jnana yogis, so Ashtanga Yogi Dhyana, the one who does the Ashtanga Yoga, he is the topmost. Among those yogis also, so bhaktas are the topmost. That we have seen in the 6th chapter ending. The personality of Godhead Hari also fulfills the desires of surrendered devotees. One has to surrender unto the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead Hari or Krishna in order to achieve real success. Devotional service or engagement in Krishna consciousness is the direct method, and all other methods, although recommended, are indirect. In this age of Kali, the direct method is especially more feasible than the indirect because people are short living, their intelligence is poor, and they are poverty stricken and embraced by so many miserable disturbances. That's Manda Samanda Matyo Manda Bhagya. Lord Chaitanya, therefore, has given the greatest boon. In this age, one simply has to chant the holy name of the God to attain perfection in spiritual life. Here, once in Kriya Yoga, the word Samprapede Harim means that in various ways, Kardamuni satisfied Supreme Personality of Godhead by his devotional service. Devotional service is also expressed by the word Kriya Yogena. Kardamuni not only meditating but also engaged in devotional service to attain perfection in yoga practice or meditation. One must act in devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering. So in the Kali Yuga, mainly because we cannot follow remaining things. Meditation or performing the big sacrifices or worshipping with the great paraphernalia. These are all very difficult. So direct devotion, Shravanam Kirtanam. Kali Yuga is really so fortunate for us because that is the most important process is promoted in this year in this yuga, and also it is very easy, and also quickly you can get the result of that. So that's a taking birth in the human form, and also in Kali Yuga is more fortunate actually. Because chanting and hearing, which is the most powerful process, that is prominent in this yuga. And that can give very quickly the result. but remaining processes are very difficult. So that's why in one way, Kali Yuga, taking birth in Kali Yuga is also very advantageous. Remembering is meditation also, but who is to be remembered? One should remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not only must one remember the Supreme Person, one must hear about the activities of the Lord and chant His glories. Anyway, so next, Tavan Prasanno Bhagavan Pushkaraksha Krute Yuge Darshayamasa Tam Kshaptaha Shabdam Brahma Dadatvapuhu. Then in the Satyuga, the lotus-eyed Supreme Personality of Godhead, being pleased, showed himself to that Kardamuni and displayed his transcendental form, which can be understood only through the Vedas. So here, what kind of form he presented in front of, Lord presented in front of the Kardamuni? Shabdam. Shabdam Brahma Dadat Vapuhu. So Shabdam means what? Shabdam means which is to be understood only through the Vedas. Lord's form cannot be speculated. Prabhupada will focus in this purport mainly the form of the Lord cannot be speculated. It should be just as described in the Vedas. It should be. So that means you should worship only those forms which are described in the Vedas. So Lord is having the infinite number of forms. So I can take any one form, like I can worship Lord in the form of mobile. Can we do that? Lord in the form of pen. Lord, otherwise, like the Varaha Matsya Kurma is there, like that Lord also can be some other species. Like you can only make that means Lord have innumerable, so I can also have my own form of the Lord. Can you do that? You cannot do that. Shabdam Srutivata Nitam in the ninth chapter of the same canto, we have seen Brahmaji's prayers also. Lord's form, as described in the Vedas, that form only we should worship. So we cannot speculate on that. So Lord showed also here they see in the reality also, Lord is showing the form which is described in the Vedas. Not that so we have free will to imagine the Lord's form, no free will. Here, 2 points are very significant. The first is that Kardamuni attained success by yoga practice in the beginning of Satyuga when people used to live for 100,000 years. Kardamuni attained success, and the Lord, being pleased with him, showed him his form, which is not imaginary. So, two things. So, to do Ashtanga Yoga, you need lifespan of thousands of years. Otherwise, you should not go for that. And second thing is, Lord's form cannot be imaginary. It should be based upon the description of Vedas. Those are the two things one should. So Kardamuni didn't discover any imaginary form of the God or alleged by rascals. He actually show the eternal, blissful, transcendental form of the Lord. Next, Satam Virajamakar Satam Virajam Arkabham Srajam Snigdhanilala Kavrata Vaktra Abjam Virajombaram. Kardamuni saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is free from material contamination in his eternal form, effulgent like the sun, wearing a garland of white lotuses and water lilies. The Lord was clad in spotless yellow silk, and his lotus face was fringed with slick dark locks of curly hair. We can see Lord's form in 9, 10, 11. Okay. In 10th sloka, so Lord's beautiful form is being explained. Kiritinam kundalinam Shanka Chakra Gadadaram Shvetotphala Manasparsha Smite Kshanam. Adorned with a crown and earrings, he held his characteristic conch, disc, and mace in three of his hands, and a white lily in the fourth. Generally, in the fourth hand, what he should hold? Lotus. But here, no, he is having the other flowers, lily flowers. He glanced about in a happy, smiling mood whose sight captivates the hearts of all devotees. Vinyasta हंसदेशे गुरुत्मतः दृष्ट्वा सेवस्थितं वक्षश्रियं कौस्तुभकन्धरम्. A golden streak on his chest, the famous Kaustubha gem suspended from his neck. He stood in the air with his lotus feet placed on the shoulders of Garuda.
Srivasa is golden, white.
White. Some places it is golden, comes some places in white. Many forms are there, Lord. Many Vishnus are there. The descriptions in verses 9 to 11 of the Lord in his transcendental eternal form are understood to be descriptions from the authoritative Vedic version. The descriptions are certainly not the imagination of Kardamani. In another place, Prabhupada says, if Lord's form is just an imaginary, then why you will take 10,000 years of meditation? Imagination can be done by any time. His logic is 10,000 years, why you sit and find just to imagine why you take the 10,000 years. He did the tapasya of 10,000 years means he could have achieved something which is real. So that's why people, these Mayavadis, they think that Lord's form is just an imaginary. That means just because of the Maya, it's not real. So then who is such a person who will take the 10,000 years of hard labor to get this such a Mayic form? So like that he condemned these Mayavadis and also Sunyavadis. The descriptions are certainly not the imagination of Kardamani. The decorations of the Lord are beyond material conception, as admitted even by impersonalists like Sankaracharya. Narayana, the Supreme Personality of God, has nothing to do with the material creation. So Mayavadis, they already explained. So Mayavadis' conception of the Lord is what? Vidya Pratibimbita Chaitanyam. If you remember that, we discussed how the Jiva's conception they derive. They say that Jivatma is Avidya is having the various so Antakarnas. In that Antakarna, so Brahman is reflecting, and that is known as Jiva. Jiva concept and Ishvara concept is very much against the descriptions of the scriptures. They just speculated like that. Mayavadis, impersonalist. The varieties of the transcendental Lord, his body, his form, his dress, his instructions, his words are not manufactured by material energy, but all are confirmed in the Vedic literature. By performance of yoga, Kardamani actually saw the Supreme Lord as he is. There was no point of seeing an imagined form of God after practicing yoga for 10,000 years. There is no point in seeing an imagined form of God after practicing yoga for 10,000 years. The perfection of yoga, therefore, doesn't terminate in wideness or impersonalism. The process of Krishna consciousness is to deliver the form of Krishna directly. Okay? अब इधर से शुरू होगा ठीक है जाता हर्षोपतन्मूर् मूर्ध्ना क्षितौ लब्ध मनोरथा गीर्भिस्त्वगुण प्रीते स्वभावात्मा कृतांजलि. When Kardamani actually realized the Supreme Personality of Godhead in person, he was greatly satisfied because his transcendental desire was fulfilled. He fell on the ground with his head bowed to offer obeisances unto the lotus feet of the Lord. His heart, naturally full of love of God, with folded hands, he satisfied the Lord with prayers. From 13th onwards, we have comment. If the existence of the super soul and individual is admitted, if the existence of super soul and individual is admitted, then the impersonalist theory of monoism is nullified. If individual soul and super soul both are eternal, then that means two are there. So that means monoism, they say Advaitam. So monoism, how monoism can be supported? So Prabhupada is putting this logic actually. Therefore, some impersonalist and wide philosophers twist the Patanjali system in their own way and pollute the whole yoga process. So in the yoga system, we are seeing so Jivatma is there and also realization of Paramatma is also there. That means soul is there, super soul is there. That means what? So Patanjali is also accepting the soul and super soul. How one can say that means this monoist, that means impersonalist, and also the wideist, that means Sunyavadis. So how they can say Patanjali system is to realize the Brahman, that means to realize the oneness. How it can be realizing of the oneness? No. So there is a actually they are misdealing actually with the Ashtanga Yoga system. That's the Prabhupada argument actually here. So now, after seeing the Lord's beautiful form, Kardamuni started glorifying him. ऋषिरुवाच जुष्टम्बताद्य किल सत्वराशे संसिद्ध्यक्ष्णोस्तव दर्शनात्नः यद्दर्शनं जन्म विरीड्य सद्भे आशासते योगिनो रूढयोगा. The great sage Kardama said, O supreme worshipful Lord, my power of sight is now fulfilled. Having attained the greatest perfection of the sight of you, who are the reservoir of all existence, through many successive births of deep meditation, advanced yogis aspire to see your transcendental form. चलिए तो अभी चेन्नई से उठिए थोड़ा सा अभी तक सो गए हैं आप लोग बहुत अच्छा है I think rest over, I think 8:30, 1 hour will 1.5 hour we all nicely took rest. So our Kardamuni started glorifying. So Kardamuni's feelings we should understand. Okay. Why less strength actually? Many are absent. They are in Bhakti Vaibhava, no? Only how much? 3, 5, 5, 8, 12, 13. Out of 22, 13. क्या हो गया धीरे धीरे It's very difficult. Batch began with the 25, 30. Course began with 29. 29. 29 came to 12, 30. Today only. Maybe because weekend is shaky. Tell me what Kardamun is saying. Aho महद्भाग्यस्य प्रभोः कारुण्यस्य च परमाकाष्ठा यद् अचिरेणेव दर्शनं लब्धवान् अस्मि. Kardamuni was very much excited actually. Why he was excited? Because Lord is so merciful. How he is expressing his mercy is so extreme. His mercy is extreme also, he is saying. Why is mercy is extreme? Because he didn't take much time to give his darshan. Lord is extremely merciful. What is the pramana for that? Kardamuni is saying that you give your darshan. Yad achireneva. Chira, not chira. Achira. Achira means very soon. That means the Satyaga 10,000 years are nothing actually. Like just a time taken to eat popcorn. That's all. Very quickly you give darshan, my Lord. Really, you are so merciful. So with that mood, he started praying now. Justam iti bata iti vismaye. And also he is expressing his surprise, that means his surprise amusement. Oh, bata, by the word bata is saying this. And also he is saying, your darshan is so great. Tava darshanat asmakam akshnoho samsiddhyam. Because of your darshan, my eyes got successful, extreme successful. They became successful. Not only simply successful, extreme successful. Mama akshni adyeva samyak siddhe. They became extremely perfect. Safal ho gaya. By your darshan, my eyes became extremely successful. That means before his eyes were not working, now only started working hard. What is the meaning of becoming extremely successful? So eyes, we are using eyes and we are able to see. That means they are successful or not. They are doing their work means they are successful. But now he is not saying simply successful. He is saying extremely successful. Sam siddhyam, he is saying, not siddhi. Siddhi means they are working properly. Becoming successful means they should work properly. That is the meaning of successful. But now he is not simply saying siddhi. He is saying sam siddhi. Means extremely successful. Why? So, because how these eyes are extremely successful, how can you say? Yet samsiddhi akshno darshana bata kila satvarashe yad darshanam janmabir idya sadbir ashashite yoginah rodha yoga. It means tacha samsiddhi justam sevitam. So this perfectness of my eyes is also glorified by various people actually. How they glorify the perfectness of my eyes? They say that, see, this Kardam Muni's eyes. Kardam Muni's eyes have got the darshan of the Lord. And these eyes got the darshan of the Lord. They have seen Lord's form. And let us know, we all pay obeisances to these eyes. So like that, various other practitioners or sages, they also worship these eyes. So that's why here Kardamuni is saying that my eyes got extreme perfectness. Because those eyes are glorified by the various sages. Why they glorify? Because those eyes have seen Lord's form. And they glorify these eyes and they also become happy. These eyes have seen the Lord. And by that they remember like that and they will become happy. And Kardamuni is saying here, Lord is Akila Sattva Rashi. That means his form is full of transcendental. It doesn't have any kind of the so-called material modes. Akila Shatvarasi Rupam Na Etadanurupa Maya Sadhanam Cha Kritam. So Kardamuni is saying, I didn't imagine this form. That means my eyes are not seeing the imaginary form. This form is eternally existing. And also the whatever the means I followed is not invented by me. And he's saying, that's why he's saying, what he's saying in the second line, if you see in the second line, he's saying, Yaddarshanam janmabir idya sadbir ashashite yogina rudha yoga. All these yogis, many lives, they try for the getting this kind of darshan using the process of the yoga. Even they are the yoga ruda, they attain the highest process, they are also desiring to see this form. So na etat sadbir uttama shrestaihi bahubhi janmabihi ruda yoga hayite ashasate natu labhante. That means they are also desiring. And I am so fortunate now, Lord, within just 10,000 years of this tapasya, he gave this darshan. Because this kind of darshan, many yogis, they are doing and they are desiring. And it's not so easy to get this kind of darshan. And my eyes became so fortunate. They are all glorified by the others because they have got the darshan of the Lord. So then, next sloka.
Darshan, or the heart.
Direct. Bahya. Direct.
The special power is in.
Yeah, that's these material eyes cannot see. Yeah, since he did the devotion, because of that, his eyes became transcendental actually. That's why he is able to see. Ye maya te hatameda sattva padaravindam bhava sindhu potam upasate kamalavaya tesha rasi shakaman nirayepi yesyu. Your lotus feet are the true vessel to take one across the ocean of mundane missiles. Only persons deprived of their intelligence by the spell of the deluding energy will worship those feet with a view to attain the trivial and momentary pleasure of the senses, which even persons rotting in hell can attain. However, O my Lord, you are so kind that you bestow mercy even upon them. Now in this sloka, so from here onwards, so we can see during the further consciousness of our Kardamuni, Hanta Hanta Yevam Krupa Samudramapi Tvam Sakamataya Bhajanti Ityaha Maudyam Lokana Mityaha. What is the what thing is said in this sloka? Kardamuni is saying that, oh my God, Hanta Hanta Evam Krupa Samudramapi. That means you are so merciful. Very easily you give the darshan. You are the ocean of the mercy, my dear Lord. That means here Kardamuni is there and now Lord is there. Kardamuni started. So there is a conversation way you can understand this glorification is like a conversation. So here now Kardamuni is saying that you are merciful, my dear Lord. Yeah, that he said in the first sloka. And in the second sloka, and the second sloka of this glorification is saying, oh my Lord, you are so merciful, but these people are sakamataya bhajanti. They all worship you for the material, so-called material desires. Because of to get the material desires, they are worshipping. See their dullness of their head. They are dull-headed people. ये लोग का रीति है, ऐसा है ये लोग. You are so merciful, but they don't want to worship you purely. No. They are all worshipping to fulfill their material desires. See the dullness of them. Why they are dull? Ye tava mayaya hatabuttaya bhavanti. Because of your maya, they all become, that means their buddhi is stolen. Hatabuddhaya. Because your maya is creating so many beautiful objects in the form of the beautiful, so sense objects like the, you can see the nice buildings and jewelry, woman, so many things. Your maya creates so many alluring objects and she will steal their intelligence actually. Hatha buddhaya, their intelligence is stolen by your maya. Bhavanti, te eva na anye kamaleshaya. Those people only will do like this. They worship you. So only those people whose intelligence was stolen by, yeah, na anye, not others. Kamalesha, they worship you for just little material things. They want, so these, that means they want job and they want some kind of, so money or some post or position for simple things only. So they are worshipping you. Kamaleshaya, kamaleshameva praptum upasate. But what? My Lord, you are so great. Tvam tu tesham kaman bahuneva akamitan api rasi. But you are what you are, even they are asking very little things, but you are so merciful. Whatever they are not desiring, still you are giving those. You are giving more. What they are desiring, compared to that, even you are giving more and more. Why you are giving? If you don't give like that, what will happen? Anyatha bhakti sukhe anabhignahate tad bhaktimapi त्यक्तुम नैव विलंबेरन. ऐसा भगवान क्यों देते हैं? मांगते थोड़ा लेकिन देते ज्यादा. ऐसा क्यों? क्योंकि ऐसा, क्योंकि the reason is these people doesn't know the pleasure of the bhakti. They only know the pleasure of the material things. If he doesn't give other more than the whatever they ask, since they don't know the pleasure of the bhakti, they can easily leave the bhakti. That's why थोड़ा मांगने से भी ज्यादा देते, क्योंकि वो भक्ति बना के रखे. Because these are all dull-headed people, hatha buddhaya. That means their intelligence is already stolen. So if he doesn't give more than what they ask, and they will immediately leave these things. इसीलिए ना बच्चों को कंट्रोल में रखने के लिए पिताजी एक मांग से दो दे देते, नहीं तो वो बात नहीं सुनेगा करके भाग जाएगा, ऐसा करके चिंतित है. भगवान भी वैसा ही. Lord is also like that. So devotees who are worshipping him out of material desires, whatever they ask, more than that he gives, because they don't know the taste of the pure devotion, the pleasure of the pure devotion. No, even they do worship, they don't get any kind. They see bhakti as just a sadhana to achieve their goal, the material thing. So that's why they don't get any kind of pleasure from that. They are seeing just it is a sadhana. Even in the Kuyogis, I discussed in the previous section, in the previous module actually. Kuyogis, so they are not relishing the pleasure. Even they are getting relishing the pleasure, they are forcibly stopping that. So that extent. So the only the requirement, what is the requirement to get the pleasure from the Lord, from the pure devotion? What is needed actually? Mercy of the pure devotees. If it is not there, even that is coming, so one cannot relish actually. So here, that's why now Lord is so much so worried. These devotees should not stop their devotion, and they may not take much time to leave the devotion if they don't, if it doesn't give. So that's why उनको बना के रखते हैं बस. भक्तेः अत्यागे तु, what is intention? भक्तेः अत्यागे तु काले तेपि निष्कामाः भवेयुः. What is the intention? Why then Lord is
giving more and more things, and why he is making them to do bhakti? The reason is, that means he is creating a strong faith in them. So to do bhakti by giving the more things than what they ask. So that bhakti ko bana ke rakhe wo log. So what is the intention behind this? Why Lord wants to keep their bhakti to be continued? The reason is, so they one day definitely they will become so strong devotees. Their taste for the material things will be over. Then finally they will be relishing the bhakti. With this the intention. That means he is giving the many material things. The reason is Lord just to keep. The reason is Lord wanted them to keep continue their bhakti. His reason is not make them to get allured by these material things. No, that is not the intention of the Lord. No, giving things is not his intention. Giving bhakti is only his intention actually. तदासी न तु तद्धाने तव तात्पर्यं यतः ते पुत्र कलत्र कुटुंब ऐश्वर्याद्याः कामाः निरये नारक्यमपि योनो स्युः. So if they don't do devotion and if they keep on, that means asking these things from the demigods, and that means they do karma then. They do karma and then they will go to the hell. They can easily go to the hell and heaven. They keep on going hell and heaven. And Lord doesn't want this in his devotees' case. Putra kalatra putra kutumba aishwaryadyaha kamaha. So they are all desiring this. Nirye narakyamapi yonos yuhu. So they can easily go to the hell by leaving bhakti, and if they will keep on do the karma for getting the wife and other things, then they will go to the naraka and swarga only. Lord doesn't want this. So that means by doing the, now one may ask here, Lord is also giving the material things and karma is also material, giving the material things. What is the difference? There is a big difference. The things, material things attained through the karma are inauspicious actually. Those will be binding us more and more to this material world. But when the same material things which are given by the devotion, through the devotion, if they are given by the Lord, those are not become the inauspicious. Those will not be inauspicious. Those will not bind him to this material world. This is the difference actually. So that's why if anyone want any material thing, he should not worship the demigods. And he should worship the Lord only. So स्वर्ग नरकयोः कर्मजन्यत्व नियमनात् तद्दत्तानां तु तादृशानामपि भोगानां कर्मजन्यत्व अभावेन बन्धकत्व अभावात्. So here Lord is, here the main intention is, so the things, material things given by through the devotion, if they come to the Lord, if they come, those will not bind them actually, because they are not coming out of the karma. So that means that will not make. So now if you do devotion to get the material things, so that will not make them to do karma. So then what will happen? They will lose the taste for the karma. They will lose the taste for the karma and they will not be binded with the karma to this material world. This is the difference actually. Then they will get the taste to do the bhakti because they are getting the material pleasure because of the bhakti. So then keep on doing the bhakti. Then what will happen? जैसे छोटा बच्चा है, सो बच्चा को जब अब मिट्टी खाने की आदत है तो माँ क्या करती है? मिट्टी को हटा के लड्डू देती, तो उससे क्या होगा? लड्डू खाना वो धीरे धीरे लड्डू खाना पसंद करते हैं. ऐसा ही ये भक्ति करने से क्या होगा? भक्ति महारानी भी धीरे धीरे वो मटेरियल प्लेजर जो भी है उसको हटा देती है और भक्ति प्लेजर देना शुरू कर देती है. अभी उनको प्लेजर आना शुरू हो जाएगा भक्ति में. अभी मटेरियल चीजों के लिए भक्ति करना शुरू कर दिया और कुछ दिन के बाद वो मटेरियल प्लेजर को भक्ति महारानी हटा देती. जैसे माँ नहीं तो पिता जो भी है बच्चों को मिट्टी हटा के लड्डू देना शुरू करते हैं, वैसा ही तब वो कुछ दिन के बाद मिट्टी खाना बंद कर देते हैं। छोटापन में पहले मिट्टी खाते हैं वो, लेकिन जब उनको कैंडी मिलने लगेगा तो लड्डू मिलने लगेगा तो क्या करेगा वो, जब भूख लगती है तो मिट्टी खाना बंद करके लड्डू खाना शुरू करते हैं। लड्डू दे दो मम्मी करके पूछने लगते हैं। वैसा ही अभी भक्ति महाराज अभी, अभी पहले भौतिक सुख जो कर्म से आने वाला सुख अभी भक्ति करने से आ रहा है, तो अभी क्या है, भौतिक सुख चाहे तो तुरंत भक्ति के पास ही आएगा, और अभी भक्ति में रुचि भी आ जाएगा। कर्म से मैं क्या करती है भक्ति महारानी, अभी वो भौतिक वस्तुओं में जो रुचि उसको हटा देती है और अपना भक्ति में रुचि को प्रदान करती है, तो कुछ दिन के बाद वो भक्त हो जाएंगे। तो इसीलिए ये है लाभ एक्चुअली, भगवान के लिए ही, भगवान को ही अप्रोच करना चाहिए। यदि भौतिक चीजों चाहिए तो भी, इफ एनीवन वांट्स एनी मटेरियल थिंग्स दे शुड वर्शिप लॉर्ड ओनली। So like this, Kardam Muni is saying, so you are so, Kardam Muni is not Alpamedasaha. But Alpamedasaha in the Bhagavad Gita, we can see the who are having the less intelligence, they will be going for the worshipping of demigods. Next. तथा स चाहं परिवोढुकामः समानशीलां गृहमेदधेनुम् उपेयुवान् मूलमशेषमूलं दुराशयः कामदुगाङ्घ्रिपस्य। Therefore, desiring to marry a girl of like disposition, who may prove to be a veritable cow of plenty in my married life, to satisfy my lustful desire, I too have sought the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the source of everything, for you are like a desire tea. तो अभी क्या है आगे, वो जो है ना, जो पहले बोले ना, तो आप तो बहुत करुणा वाले हैं, लेकिन फिर भी जो भी है, तो कुछ जिसका बुद्धि चोरी हो गए माया से, वैसा लोग सकामता से माने भौतिक चीजों के लिए आपका भक्ति करते हैं। ऐसा भक्ति करने वाले में मैं भी एक हूँ करके इधर बोल रहे हैं। एक्चुअली आई एम ऑल्सो वन अमॉन्ग दैट, दोज हु वर्शिप यू फॉर मटेरियल गेन्स। यो हम सकामा निंदा में, जिस सकाम सकाम भक्तों को निंदा कर रहा हूं, उस कैटेगरी में मैं भी हूं करके खुद को बोल रहे हैं। चलिए इधर कर दो, मैं तो सबसे आगे हूं, क्योंकि मुझे भी एक क्या चाहिए, एक गाय चाहिए। दूध देने वाला गाय धेनु। और अब ऐसा ही, वो गाय क्या देती है, क्या देती है, what the wife will give actually, what is said in this sloka, see, gruhamedha dhenum, gruhamedha dhenu means ये गाय क्या देती है, why one should get married, what is the use of wife, Grostas tell me, what is the use of wife, वाइफ से क्या मिलता है, धर्म अर्थ काम, धर्म कार्य कर सकते हैं, टू डू धर्म, that means to follow the dharma means what, so whatever you are working now because of your wife's support or not, without her support can you work, it's not possible actually, it's very difficult. So she will take care your all the needs, because of that you are able to work dharma, you are able to do your duties. By that what will be coming, artha will come. So that means she is the cause for gaining artha. Grahastha, they should not think that if they are working in the office means their wives are in the house, they are not doing anything. No. Since they are working in the house, that's why you are working in office actually. Or wherever, whatever dharma you are able to follow. Otherwise, you cannot do. So that's why you should not undermine them. And I am great, and because of me only my house is running. Because of her also your house is earning actually. Whatever the earning is there, she is also having the share in that. That means dharma, artha. To do your dharma, she is need actually. So bachelors, how many days they will work? They even they work, their work is not so efficient actually. So there is a need, that means to follow varnas, that means Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, to follow their dharma, they need wife actually. Today to do their dharma. Because of that, they get the artha, money, benefits. And after getting that benefits, so they want to kama. Kama, that means they get the artha, money they got, and to get enjoyment from that. That means prepare nicely various things and eat it. So who will do that? So even if you want to enjoy whatever your artha, you need wife or not. Without her, can you, maybe how many days you can eat in a hotel actually? It's very difficult. Hotel food is good. Maybe 1 month, 2 months, and you'll be suffering actually, like anything. But if you see there is a difference between wife food and the hotel food or not. 1, 2 days is okay for the enjoyment for the hotel food, but regularly if you ask to eat, you cannot. So that's why, and not only that means food and many ways. So you'll be happy by having the children. You'll be happy by having the sex life. You'll be happy like that, many things. For all these things, she is must actually. So that's why to milk three things, dharma, artha, kama, there is a need of the wife. So that's why to milking milk, you need a cow. Similarly, to milk dharma, artha, kama, we need a cow. I need a cow. That means a wife I need. So this is a material thing I am asking my Lord. So that's why I am also one among that. Those who are asking, who's lost their intelligence. So here one more important point. He is desiring a cow, milking cow, Trivarga Dogdi. Here Gruhameda Dogdi means Trivarga Dogdi means Dharma Ardha Kama Dogdi. Dharma Ardha Kam को दोहन करने के लिए मुझे एक गाय चाहिए. तो माने अपने आप को क्या मान रहे हैं? बुल मान रहे हैं. नहीं मिल्क नहीं. गाय के साथ बहन चाहिए ना. बहुत इंटेलिजेंट है आप तो. इधर विश्वनाथ जी बोल रहे हैं, इधर करदम मुनि गाय चाहिए करके बोल के अपने आप को बुल बना रहे है ना. तो क्योंकि वो गाय को शादी करना चाहते हैं, मिल्कमैन शादी थोड़ी करते हैं. तो ही सेइंग हिमसेल्फ एक्चुअली एज अ बुल. दैट मीन्स मैं बैल बनना चाहता हूं. बैल मैंने क्या है, बैल का पोजीशन अच्छा है क्या? नहीं, दिन भर काम करना पड़ता है. गृहस्थ लाइफ इज नॉट सो इजी. होल डे यू हैव टू वर्क फ्रॉम मॉर्निंग. अभी देख 9:30 10 o'clock निकलेंगे, शाम को 6-7 बजे तक काम करना पड़ता है. नहीं, इट्स वेरी हार्ड एक्चुअली लाइफ. ऐसा नहीं है कि आराम से प्रसाद खाओ और 2 घंटा रेस्ट ले लो. उसके बाद थोड़ा बुक रीडिंग करो और उसके बाद थोड़ा बैठ के कथा करो और उसके बाद दोबारा खाओ. इतना आराम नहीं है भैया. वो लोग मुंह से फेन निकलता है एक्चुअली काम करते करते. इतना टेंशन रहता है ना. बास कर देते, तांडव करते, सुबह सुबह आके ऑलरेडी जाके मेल ओपन कर चेक करते, बस लिस्ट लाते हैं उधर. इतना टुडेस टास्क आर दिस वीक्स टास्क करके वो देखते ही बस उनका आनंद होश उड़ जाती है. जिस आनंद से गए हैं ऑफिस, उतना आनंद नहीं रहता है एक्चुअली. उस समय लगता है क्यों ये सब शादी कर ली है, जीवन क्यों है रे भाई. कब अंत होता है सब बात, दुख लगता है. कभी कभी सुख भी मिलता है, कभी कभी दुख भी मिलता है. This is life actually. So I want to become a bull. I want to work hard. कर्म करना चाहता हूं, इसका अर्थ यही हो गया। माने इसका अर्थ क्या है? कर्दम मुनि कर्म मिश्र भक्त बनना। कर्दम मुनि इज एन एग्जाम्पल फॉर कर्म मिश्र भक्त। बैल की जैसा मैं काम करना चाहता हूं, मेरे सात त्रिवर्ग की संपन्न करने के लिए मुझे एक दूध देने वाला गाय चाहिए। मैंने अपने आप को बोले, इतना सब जानते हुए बोल रहे थे। तभी आगे आए, किंच सकामेशु अपि मध्ये अहम दुराशय। Among those, that means who are desiring for material things, I am the most topmost desiring person. I am the topmost one among those. That's why he's saying himself Durashaya, Durabhipraya. That means I am desiring a girl, a wife. That's why I am worshipping you. So that's why Durashaya. He is condemning himself. He is condemning himself. Durashaya means I am bad intelligent person. So the reason also he only is saying because Parivodum Kama. परिवोड मीन्स परिणेत मिच्चन, मैंने शादी करना चाहता हूं, उसके लिए मैं लड़की चाहिए, इसलिए मैं आपको भक्ति किया, इसीलिए मैं दुराश है। मैं बैल हूं। परिवोड काम एव काम दुघांग्री, बिकॉज योर लोटस फीट is is shelter for the all the kinds of the pleasure. So instead of taking shelter of your lotus feet, I am asking a woman. So that's why I am durashaya. मेरा बुद्धि गिर गया।
Foreign instructions of order.
अभी मजा आने दीजिए, नेक्स्ट फ्लो को ब्रेक नहीं करना। नेक्स्ट, प्रजापतेस्ते वचसादीशतन्त्या लोकः किलायं कामहतोऽनुबद्धा अहं च लोकानुगतो वहामि बलिं च शुक्लां तुभ्यम्। O my Lord, you are the master and leader of all living entities. Under your direction, all conditioned souls, as if bound by rope, are constantly engaged in satisfying their desires. Following them, O embodiment of religion, I also bear oblations for you, who are eternal time. अभी देखिए, तो we can ask then Kardam Muni, अच्छा, you know everything. Lord's lotus feet is shelter of all the pleasures. Instead of asking something material, so one should take the shelter of that lotus feet. So you know the truth then. You know, you have intelligence then. Yes, Lord can say to him, you have intelligence, my dear Kardama, you know very well everything. Then why don't you become Nishkama? Why don't you stop desiring these things? This is the question you can put or not to the Kardama. So now Kardama is saying to reply to this. What is the reply he is saying? प्रजापतेः ब्रह्मणस्तव त्वदीयस्य प्रजाः सृज इति वचसा तंत्र्या। मेरे पिताजी है ना, मेरे पिताजी बोले हैं प्रजा सृजा। पिताजी बोले ब्रह्मचारी 35 साल 40 साल तक ब्रह्मचारी रह के उसके बाद बोलते पिताजी बोले क्या भी शादी करने के लिए। ऐसे ही बोलते हैं। तो इधर ब्रह्म, इधर करदम जी भी वही बोल रहे हैं, करदम को ही फॉलो करते हैं हमारा ब्रह्मचारी भी। तो इधर करदम जी बोलते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं, व्हाट ही सेइंग, माय फादर ऑर्डर्ड मी टू क्रिएट प्रोजेनी। So why he is ordering? Because you also said same thing in the Bhagavad Gita. One may ask then why your father is ordering like this? Because you also approved this. What that? Saha yajna praja srishtva puro vacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam. Previously, we can see in the Bhagavad Gita also, Lord is saying Brahmaji created yajnas, and also along with that, he created the prajas to do the yajna and get the things whatever they desire by satisfying the various demigods through that yajnas. This is the system which is given by you, and according to that, so my father Brahmaji, which is nothing but your follower, so he created the us, and he created yajnas. Brahmaji created yajnas and us, and he instructed me to do creation further. So that's why I need woman. So that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking a girl. Because my father wanted. And why my father wanted? Because that is a system, it is given by you only. तो अभी कर्दम मुनि में कोई दोष है या नहीं? अभी तो कर्दम मुनि को दोष दिखा सकते हैं या नहीं? दिखा सकते हैं. तो क्या बोल सकते हैं कि तो आपका पिताजी का ही बड़े भाई हैं सनकादि ऋषि, आप उन लोगों को क्यों फॉलो नहीं करते? पिताजी तो उन लोगों को भी बोले हैं, बोले नहीं? चार चतुष कुमार को उत्पन्न करने के बाद ब्रह्मा जी क्या बोले उन लोगों से? बेटा बच्चा और भी बढ़ाओ आगे. लेकिन ये लोग बोले क्या? हम नहीं बढ़ाएंगे, हमको नहीं चाहिए. तो तुम अपना बड़े भाई को क्यों फॉलो नहीं करते? तो क्योंकि आपका पिताजी का बात आपका बड़े भाई भी नहीं सुने हैं, उसमें कोई दोष नहीं लगा, तो वो आप भी नहीं जो आप भी तो नहीं चाहना चाहिए, आप भी ब्रह्मचारी बनना चाहिए, क्यों नहीं बनो? पिताजी का बहाना देखा रहे तुम. तब बोलते हैं करदम जी, देखो भैया मैं इतना एक्साइटेड नहीं. ये सरेंडर हो गया. He's saying that what? Lokanugataha. I am following the common people actually. I am not so exalted like Narada and Kumaras. They're all great brothers. I am just an ordinary man, just following my father's words. So that's why becoming brahmachari is not an easy thing. Real brahmachari is good. It's good or not? Yes. It's really wonderful thing. So that's why he's saying, aham cha lokanugataha tadanugami buddhihi natu. That means how the general society is doing, my buddhi is also working like that. In general society, 99.99% people, they go for marriage. In the whole society, maybe not 1%, maybe. Out of 800 billion, how many brahmacharis are there in the whole world population? So very less. So that's why Natu Naradadi Sadrisho Bhavitum Samarthaha. I am not able to become like Narada and Kumaras. I am just so following in general way. Ataha Tantriya Buddha. That's why इसी ना मैं बोल रहा हूँ बैल बनना चाहता हूँ. बैल बनना है ब्रह्मचारी. बैल मत बनो. है ना प्रभु जी? इधर ब्रह्मचारी इधर बहुत अच्छा क्लास है. तो बहुत रेयरली बैठ, क्योंकि हाँ तो वो क्या है, वो डेरा टेंट बदलने वाला है क्या? ब्रह्मचारी गृहस्थ में नहीं, तो ऑटोमेटिकली देयर विल बी धर्मार्थ काम. इट शुड बी, इट विल बी देयर. But we do encourage to become brahmacharis. But it's not an easy thing actually. Even if you promote, if you give thousands and thousands of instructions, if you give thousands and thousands of instructions, after that maybe one or two they can. So that's why that much emphasis we do. Because it's a natural flow. Lokanukata. Here, Kardama is also himself is saying Lokanukata. That means Aham Lokanukata. I am following the general society, general way of thinking. General way of natural thinking is go for marriage. Very rarely, maybe one or two get the desire of not to get married and serve the Lord. Nishkama. Very rarely. So that has to be encouraged. That spark has to be encouraged. Because even if you say so much, so retaining them to be brahmachari for the whole life, they are dropping at 35, 40, 45, 50, 55 also. Yes or no? It's happening. It's a not easy thing. So that's why heavy promotion, even if you do, so at least you can see few.
Yeah. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti Vaibhava Abhijana. Here, Karma Vishnu, Lord is giving darshan. How can I understand?
He is also devotee. That's why Lord is saying, no, you are so merciful. अरे इतना जल्दी से आपको दर्शन दे दिए इसीलिए बोल रहे हैं लॉर्ड दैट्स द लास्ट करुणा सो एक्सट्रीमनेस दैट क्रेडिट गोes to the Lord. And without bhakti, you will not give any darshan. So, but he did bhakti also because we have seen that Kriya Yoga means bhakti yoga. Yeah. So, I cannot become like Narada and so and so. Ataha tantriya baddha rushah iva balim vahami karmamayim. मैं अभी बलि को वहन करूंगा माने कर्म करूंगा बैल की जैसा. बलि को वहन करना माने इधर अर्थ क्या हो गया कर्ममयी वहामी माने आपकी जो आज्ञा कर्म भी भगवान से दिया है धर्म अर्थ काम माने ये दिस इज द ड्यूटीज ऑफ गृहस्थ दिस इज द ड्यूटीज ऑफ ब्रह्मचारी वानप्रस्थ सन्यासी ब्राह्मण क्षत्रिय वैश्य शूद्र these are all given by whom? So Lord only. So that's why I follow that system actually. I will do karma and also I will do bhakti. So that's why here once again the word of the balim vahami, here bali means what is said. See this karma mayim. Karma mayim balim vahami. Bali means karma. So that's why Kartam Muni is karma mishra bhakta. Then after that, after getting his children, he will be his consciousness is out from the karma also. He left everything and he'll become pure. He'll take the shelter of pure devotion and he'll go back to God. So that we'll be seeing in the further chapters. But now in this case, that's what Jiva Goswami explains. There are the three kinds of the devotion. Arop Siddha Bhakti, Sangha Siddha Bhakti, and Swarupa Siddha Bhakti. Arop Siddha Bhakti, that activity by itself is not Bhakti, but when you offer that to the Lord, then that will become Bhakti. Example, so working in a field and producing grains. So working in field and producing grains, is it a devotional activity? No. The activity by nature, it is not devotion. The activities by Swarupa, it is not Bhakti. But when the result of that means production after getting the grains, if you offer the grains to the Lord, then that means plowing the land, sowing the seeds, putting the water, then making grow of these plants and getting the yield and protecting the yield, everything, all these activities will become now devotion. This kind of bhakti is known as Aropa Siddha Bhakti. But it is not pure devotion. So then Sangha Siddha Bhakti. Sangha Siddha Bhakti means, so that activity itself is not Bhakti, but because of the association with the Bhakti, it is becoming Bhakti. Because of the association of the Bhakti, that itself is also becoming Bhakti. Even it is not Bhakti by nature. Example, same thing you can take. So working in the field and producing the grains. Same thing can become Bhakti, how he is working in the field and is producing grains, and after that he is eating those grains with the intention of to maintain this body to do the devotion. That means I will do Shravanam Kirtanam. To do the what devotion? Shravanam Kirtanam. So to do that bhakti, he is seeing this karma is a support actually. Is a supporting element. Karma, that means working in the office or working in the field or working in any firm, it is itself is not a bhakti. But now you are taking that, you are making that activity as a supporting element for the doing devotion. Then that is also becoming the bhakti. Then that karma is now is known as what? Sangha Siddha Bhakti. This is Sangha Siddha Bhakti. For Sangha Siddha Bhakti, what is example? Karma Mishra Bhakti is one of the example for the Sangha Siddha Bhakti. Here in that Karma Mishra Bhakti, that karma is also becoming the bhakti. Directly, it is not devotion. But now you are using this karma as a supporting element for the bhakti. So that's why it is known as Karma Mishra Bhakti. You're understanding? So here Kardam Muni is desiring to do the karma. And also he wants to do the bhakti. His life goal is doing bhakti only. But he also wants to do karma. Because in his heart, there is no, that means purely devotion. That means there is a space in his heart, there is a space for to this body and to body relationship. My father, Brahmaji, is desiring this thing. So that means I am his son. That's Upadhi is there. He is in the bodily platform and he is fulfilling desire of his father. And that's why his father is asking to do karma. So he's doing karma because he's identifying himself as a body actually. That means in his heart there is a space for other upadhis also. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam is not happened. And also is doing devotion. He wants to worship Lord also. That means now his consciousness is mixed with the karma and bhakti. So that's why his bhakti is not pure devotion. It is karma mishra bhakti. So Jiva Goswami takes the example of this Kardam Muni case as one of the, so Karma Mishra Bhakta in Bhakti Sandarbha you can see, which is an example for the Sangha Siddha Bhakti. Karma Mishra Bhakti is an example for Sangha Siddha Bhakti. So that means to become pure devotee, one should come out from all the designations. He should come out from all the kinds of the designations. That means he should not identify himself as son of something, or someone, or wife, or husband of someone. No. Come out from all the designations. I am the servant of the Lord. I will do 24 hours. In that consciousness, what he will do? Then he will do the directly devotion to the Lord. So that is known as pure devotional platform actually. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparena nirmalatvam. Rishikena rishikesa sevanam bhakti richate. Sarupa Siddha Bhakti. That is Shravanam Kirtanam. That activity itself is bhakti. Hearing. The object of hearing is what? Hearing is an what? Is the activity. So what is the object of that? Krishna is directly connected with that activity. Krishna's name and Krishna are directly connected. So plowing activity, plowing of what? Land. There is no direct connection. Or sowing seeds. Sowing activity is happening. For the sowing activity, what is object? Seeds. Subject, verb, object will be there, na? So sowing is a verb. What is object for that? Seeds. So there is no direct connection with the Lord there. But here hearing is there. Hearing of what? Name. Name is what? Krishna. So that's the hearing activity is directly connected with the Krishna. That object should be the Krishna. For that activity, when we can say some activity is direct devotion, if the activity is directly connected with the Krishna, or otherwise he is pure devotees, directly connected with the pure devotees. Instead of Krishna, like cleaning the body. So in the Archana, so you are cleaning the Lord's body. So here cleaning activity is happening. So of what? Lord's body. or cleaning the Lord's pure devotee Guru's body if you clean, that is also direct devotion. Object should be okay, then it is a direct devotion or Swarupa Siddha Bhakti. So that's why those whose consciousness came out from all the designations, they will be doing what? Direct devotions only. Swarupa Siddha Bhakti they will do. Direct devotion. So in the case of pure devotees, while taking bath also, they will be chanting holy names. Their consciousness is like that. They have thinking of Lord at the time also. So Kardamuni is saying further, I cannot become like that. I want to balim vahami. That means I want to do karma mayim balim. माने बलि माने भगवान को जो भी ऑफर करके उसको बलि बोलते हैं, लेकिन इधर कर्ममयी बलि माने कर्म करके उसको समर्पण करना चाहते. So that's why I want wife. Chakarat here, and also he's saying chakarat tad bhaktim sa karomi. In the sloka, if you see balim cha is there, na? हाँ, कौन सा? इसमें भी मिनट 16 ना? हाँ, balim cha. This cha is indicating what? I will do bhakti also. Bali is indicating karma and chakara is indicating bhakti. So that's why he is what example for karma mishra bhakti. His main goal is bhakti only. And but also he doesn't want to become purely bhakta. He wants to do karma also. So that's why he's karma mishra bhakti. He's not karmis case also they do karma and they do little bhakti. But what is the difference between the karmis? Karmis, they do karma to make that karma successful. They do the bhakti, little bhakti, like Vishnu's taking the Vishnu's name after doing the karma to make it successful. To do the dravya suddhi. So while doing the some karma to offer to the devatas, so dravya suddhi for that they chant the Vishnu's names. That means they are also doing the bhakti. What is their consciousness? Their goal is doing karma. Karma is pradhana. And they do mix little bhakti with that. Why? To get the success of this karma. So that's why this is known as, so this bhakti is known as what? Gunibhutava. But here in this case of Kardamuni, he doesn't want to make bhakti as a supporter for the karma. No. He wants to do karma and also he wants to do bhakti. So that's why here bhakti is pradhana for him. This is karma mishra bhakti. Yes.
Practicing, but still has material attachment. But he's struggling with attachment, wants to get out of it. And like ultimately, but he has the attachments, material. So that
So it takes process time. It's not rejected actually. We gradually progress, no? It's karma mishra bhakti. He also knows. Kardama doesn't know. He also knows. But still he is having attachment. He's saying, I cannot become nishkama. To become pure devotee, anyabhilasha sunyam is demanded. Not desiring other than pleasing Krishna. So, not desiring other than bhakti, that is the preliminary requirement actually. To be a pure devotee. But they see, knowing is not sufficient. So implementing is also is needed, na? So that's why this is the process is there. Before entering into the pure devotional service, we are all following this karma mishra bhakti that is known as Daiva Varnashrama Dharma. Already you remember that diagram? This diagram. This when the karmis come into association of bhaktas, now they are understanding from them pure devotional service concepts, but they are not ready to immediately leave everything. So they keep on hearing the glories of the pure devotion. By that they can develop the strong faith on the bhakti, and one day they will leave the karma. So leave the karma. So that's why leave all the designations, all the attachments and designations, everything they leave. Their consciousness, their heart is free from the. There is no space for anything other than anything else than Krishna. Such a state is known as pure devotional state. अभी बच्चों के लिए पत्नी के लिए बहुत गिड़गिड़ाते हैं हार्ट. अब वो हार्ट धीरे धीरे उससे निकल के आ जाती है. ये सभी शरीर का ही संबंध है. और उसको भी यदि देखते तो भी किस प्रकार से देखते हैं, और धीरे धीरे अभी बोलने के तो बोलते हैं हम लोग, उनको भी डिवोटी के जैसे देखते. इतना आसान नहीं होता, ऐसे बोलने से थोड़ी होता. तो ऐसा, लेकिन consciously, that means slowly we are trying to make our consciousness to come out. That means now we are not only seeing, always you are seeing your wife as Vaishnavi, you are not seeing any one moment as wife. You might be seeing, then you are not in the pure form. ये सब क्यों नहीं करेंगे, एक चाटा करूंगा मैं, तो बोलते ही नहीं. वाइफ कॉन्शियस में आ ही गए आप तो तब, उपाधि कॉन्शियस में आ ही गए हम लोग. इतना आसान नहीं भाई, वो तो बोलने में बहुत आसान लगता है. आइडिया को इंप्लीमेंट करना इतना ऐसा नहीं, इतना इजी नहीं. बट देयर इज अ प्रोसेस, मेक द एवरीथिंग डायरेक्टली डिवोशनल. दैट टेक्स टाइम, बट इट इज नॉट रिजेक्टेड. दैट इज द गुड वे. Kardama is example for us, and we should follow. Even brahmachari is also not pure devotional platform. So they are also following the bodily relations. That means bodily designations. I am brahmachari is a bodily designation. I am servant of the Lord is only the pure devotion. So they are also following. अरे हमको लड़कियों को देखना नहीं, और ये नियम वो नियम, वो सभी क्या है, वो तो शरीर संबंधित नियम है. Following these niyamas, taking the support of these niyamas means making the gnana angas as the support for the bhakti. अभी इतना तुरंत कहाँ है, तो इसीलिए this kind of varnashram system is known as Daiva Varnashram, because their goal is pure devotion. One day they all come. Sannyasi also should not think that I am sannyasi, then he is in the bodily consciousness. The internal homework every minute it should go on. Externally कुछ बदलने की जरूरत नहीं, उधर ही रह सकते. You can stay in your house also, no problem. But consciousness should raised up. Seeing the things should be raised up. So that's why in the pure devotional platform, they don't have any faith on these so-called bodily designations and the karma and those things. No, their faith completely is out from that, and only faith is there on the Krishna's mercy. That is a state actually, pure devotional state. That means that's a pure devotion begins with the full surrender. Dhrida Shraddha is a symptom. For Dhrida Shraddha, full surrender is a symptom. I already discussed this in the last module. Okay, so now the same thing. You can see everywhere all the prayers are explaining about this diagram only in the different areas it will be defined. Now this is the Kardam Muni's consciousness is describing this area actually. He cannot leave his desires. I cannot become like Narada is saying himself. Naradadi sadruso bhavitum na samartha. Natu Naradadi sadruso bhavitum samartha. Anyabhilasha sunyam is required. Desirelessness is required. So that means what you should understand, desirelessness is a demand for the pure devotion. All types of bhakti we should learn from the Bhagavatam, definitely, which will be helping us what is our consciousness and where we are. By this we can understand. We are also like Kardama, or we are also like Narada. That we should. Narada's consciousness we can see, we have seen already, first canto 6th chapter. मम्मी चले गए करके बैठ के रो रहे क्या? गया बस चले गया, है ना? मम्मी गई करके बैठ के रोए क्या वो तो? और उसी चिंतन में बस नहीं, गया तो गया, चलो। तो तीर्थ स्थलों की यात्रा किए हैं और भक्ति में और आगे बढ़े। ये नारद मुनि का स्टेट है, ये कर्द मुनि का स्टेट है। दोनों दो एग्जाम्पल है, एक प्योर डिवोशन का, एक कर्मनिष्ठ भक्ति। यही भागवत है, इसीलिए वीरधर पूछ रहे सब, और ये सभी बार बार सुन सुन के एक दिन बदलेगी। हे शुक्ला, अच्छा टाइम तो हो गया, थोड़ा सा रुकिए। मैं आप तो काल का रूप है, अनिमिषाय अनिमिषाय में काल रूपम त्वाम प्रसादितम। Okay, so we'll end here today's session. So remaining 4 slokas are there from here onwards. So tomorrow we'll finish this chapter, and should not make our life so critical, because if we luxuriously eat time in the beginning classes, then today also in the fast few slokas I was speed, because without speed we cannot. 4 chapters, very very big chapters, lot of purport is there. I don't know, 2.5 hours. This is only the batch. Very less time it gives in all the places. Other places 6 hours, 5 hours.
That's for brahmachari.
Brahmachari, grahasthas actually. I went last after the. From here I went to Faridabad. Na?
Right.
Faridabad also I have seen. On Saturday they came at 7, 8 o'clock and sat at till 4 o'clock. And Saturday, Sunday they give whole, and on Sunday they give 6, 7 hours. On Saturday 8 hours. We discussed the third canto, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very important section that is actually. A lot of things were Vidura was saying. So I don't know. Here is very less time. It's deadly less. Even in the Hyderabad, I have seen Hyderabad people. They Saturday, Sunday they used to give 6, 7 hours. Saturday, Sunday they are all giving, but you all have preaching. I don't know. So, but remaining day times, so on the weekdays, they are morning 1 hour and evening 1.5 hour. Morning 1.5 hour, evening 1 hour, 2.5 hours. And Saturday, Sunday, full 6, 7 hours. And that's I cannot maintain the elaborate explanations. It's impossible actually here. 2.5 hours and 5 chapters, 4 days, 5 days, 4 chapters. 2.5 hours is very, very deadly less time actually. रोटी जितना आटा है उतना ही, जितना टाइम देंगे उतना ही डिस्कशन करें. I will try actually. Important section we'll try to discuss. Remaining we'll go very quickly, so don't mind for that. Purpose also I will leave many places because time is less. It's for you. Thanks. Srila Prabhupada ki, Ganga Rashtrimat Bhagavatam ki, Pitaya Gaur Premar.